We got a super from Dastil, who said, do you think the new skill tree will really be as good? Won't the internet and math take the choice away from us? Right? Okay, so... Yeah, it will. And they know that.
That's built in by design, yeah.
Yeah, that's like essentially a built-in by design thing. And this is definitely trying to open up a few more fringe builds or silly things that you could do if you really wanted to. I mean, that's totally within this design. But ultimately, it's not exactly there to solve that problem. It seems like it's there to solve the borrowed power and how is a character in World of Warcraft built. It seems like it's built to solve that problem, so that rather than all of the different legendaries, conduits, etc., and all of these external systems that they need to redevelop for every expansion, it seems like their idea is significantly more to just put it all into the skill tree now, get it vaguely right, and continually iterate from there on, and I suppose give us, this would be the hope, interesting trinkets, good 2-piece and 4-pieces for tier sets. Yeah. And I guess that's that, with the possibility of there being a I think they're open to the idea, and they've said as much, of doing per patch borrowed power if they feel like it would be a cool, thematic, fun thing. Yeah. And that's the sort of thing where, like, look, the corrupted gear, that could have been a far better situation if acquisition wasn't bullshit, and then when they fixed acquisition, if they didn't put that on a randomly rotating vendor.
Yeah, I mean...
So that's the overall situation.
Yeah, because tier is perfectly fine borrowed power, because that is a slight meaningful change to how you play. Sometimes it favors different builds. Hopefully they know how to either avoid that in future or play with it, so you'll play with one build favored for, say, one patch, and then another build slightly favored for another. But it's like, I think fundamentally that's enough borrowed power. Stuff like Legion Fall, as an example, I love playing with Legion Fall because that was just, you get big numbers. This isn't meaningful to you, it's just big numbers. And then when you're taken away, it's like, oh yeah, you had fun while it lasted. I think Legion Fall was fine there. It's like when they give you lots of cool things and then take them away, that's a problem. But when they give you a bit of a buff and then take it away, it's not a major problem. So that'll be kind of how they architect things, I hope.
The little per patch things are fine. They just need to be reasonable on alts.
Yeah, they also don't need to feel tremendously... The problem is they felt tremendously systematic and they felt really convoluted and kind of built around to a point where they were super important. If they make them not very important, because I see, obviously, like, borrowed power, per patch borrowed power, how is it different? The difference is scale and impact, where the impact should be smaller and it should be kind of almost like a bit of flavor as opposed to a meaningful bit of gameplay. Yeah. Because tier and your core provides enough of that, or theoretically should. Because the point of skill trees, for anyone who's a programmer, it's refactoring. That's all it is. It's taking all of these fucking spread across, splayed out systems and going, how do we put this into one containable class that we can look at, everyone understands, we can tweak individually, instead of going, well, we tweak this file, we have to follow that to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. Oh, okay, well, we can't give, say, Blade of Wrath an extra 5% damage because Expurgation brings into that an extra bit of kind of variance within the conduit system, but that's in the conduit system, so we can't really control that the same way we can with the talents. And there's all refactoring into one single little thing. But then I certainly have some concerns about how well it'll be implemented.
Yes.
How players will actually respond to it being a refactoring as opposed to being actually anything different than before. Because it'll feel a bit different when you're going through it. But if you're trying to recreate a build or trying to press buttons after recreating a build quickly, you'll just go, Shadowlands character?
Yeah.
What changed? Unless you're something lucky that has a different build, or you have, like, because I know at the minute, maybe it's changed, but a couple builds ago, there was like, I was running around as an assassination rogue with Sepsis and Echoing Reprimand. And I was like, don't know if this is good, but it's interesting. Red Pala has those changes with the consecration kind of popping stuff and the Path of Ruin, so that's like, okay, that's kind of neat, but so many classes I think will go. So I get to pick between the Shadowlands build and a different Shadowlands build, but this is Dragonflight. I don't want anything to do with Shadowlands, and that'll be like a perception problem. I do have concerns with how they build it out, because the way they're built very, because the whole point is one talent point is worth so little at the top of the tree, but they're worth substantially more at the bottom. So if you had 71 talent points, that's going to be a massive difference over having, say going from 20 to 21. Going from 70 to 71 is going to be substantially more important because you'll get an extra end cap talent, which I think would be really hard for them to say put something at the sides without kind of interacting or giving you extra talent points without making really crazy builds, which means I think they'll have to recreate or probably rework them for extra talent points anyway, which is a bit of a problem. And also people have definitely pointed out significant problems with certain trees.
Oh yeah,
hopefully they get those fixed in time.
Yeah, they've totally put these things out early enough that like the class experts in many cases are, they're going in.
Yeah,
which is I guess what that's the feedback that we need, right?
Yeah, but then the one part that they talked about that I think a lot of people will miss because of the way we're engaging with them will be how it feels progression wise for, and this is the awkward part. It's going to feel shit for progression for anyone playing their main.
Yes.
Because you're going to unlock the shit you just had, which is a fucking nightmare. And it's going to be the same for, basically that's the main case. But for anyone playing a new class, it's going to feel interesting because you unlock new things as you go. For playing kind of different specs and stuff, it's going to be a little bit more interesting. And for like basically new players, it's going to feel good and bring that progression back. But it is certainly like they are laying a foundation here. And my doubt is how well the foundation's been laid. But we'll see how it goes. Could have been worse. Could have been fuck you more bar power.
Yeah. It gets them out of a cycle, and it's probably not going to feel like a big, amazing, crazy hype feature. To be honest, when it launches, it's not going to have the sugar rush of Legion artifacts, right? I suppose the hope is that it's more healthy for the long-term integrity of the game and their ability to develop it. So it's like, sure, it might be less exciting, but then Blizzard say that they want to make more, ship patches more frequently. So, maybe it ends up helping them do that, and we overall end up happier as a player base.
Yet to be seen, but...
It's, So I don't think it's going to be any humongous victory in a, immediate, oh, wow, the game is so much more exciting now. But it does represent a whole bunch of good things. It should help Blizzard with some of their own development goals. And fundamentally, if you start a new character and it hits level 70, you'll have all your talent points. You won't have to grind any renown for soulbinds. You won't have to do any of that bullshit, and that's probably going to be better for the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting thing that popped up that Obi-Wan has picked up in a super, so thank you for the super. And Obi-Wan said, I recently saw them add conduits for Evoker for pre-patch. I really wish they just remove it for pre-patch because I'm swapping my main and I really don't want to do anything Shadowlands again. Can I do Uldaman? So that is honestly all kind of hilarious. Hopefully they just give you all the conduits at a really high item level so that it doesn't matter. But yes, that is the kind of funny thing. There's this generic, I believe it's a generic Covenant power that they have, and a set of conduits, and it's just really fucking funny. Now, I imagine that those are just very quickly phoned in to tick the box,
I would hope so.
Or whatever, right? I doubt Blizzard have put any, big, serious effort.
I mean, have you seen the Covenant ability they're getting?
Oh, it's
self-heal and 10 or 12% verse, 10% verse for 12 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
So that is literally, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
it'll do.
You can do Uldaman, and look, let's be real. Uldaman is not going to be that hard in pre-patch. Probably not, right?
No.
Not to the degree where you're going to think, if only I had ground out all of my soulbinds. Right? So perhaps that stuff technically exists, and you could worry about it, but ultimately, I don't think it's going to be a mega big problem.
No, not at all.